Hello there, and thank you for joining me once again on my channel. In this tutorial I'm going to tie up a fly that I recently had some luck on. A couple nights ago I was at my local river and I was just lucky enough to catch a sulphur hatch. And I tie these guys in parachute and standard style, and also the thorax style here, sulphur thorax. So I just grabbed this one out of the box and tied it on, and I caught quite a few trout on it. No monsters, but a lot of nice trout, and it worked very well for me. So, and it's an easy tie, not real difficult. So I thought you might like to see this guy tied up, especially if you have a sulphur hatch going on where you fish at the moment. So we'll get this guy the vise here, a fresh hook in, and I'll get started. The hook is a Mustad 94840, and I'm tying him on a 14 here for the video. Get him locked in the vise. And I'm using some olive 6/0 denville thread. So we're just going to start our thread right behind the eye this time, and we're going to wrap back about halfway on the shank and then about halfway back up onto that. Snip off that tag end, and I have a small section of antron yarn here, cream color. We're going to tie that in for the wing. So I'm going to place that right on top here and pinch that on with a pinch wrap. Then wrap back 3 to 4 wraps, and then I'm going to snip that excess off here at the back. Then we'll move forward to the base of the wing again. We'll lift that wing up, and I'm going to take a few wraps in front to prop it up. Now, I'm not tying a parachute, but I will take a few wraps around the base, sort of post it a little bit, just so it stays straight up for me. And I'll come back down and make a wrap in front, a wrap behind. And one other thing I'll do so that wing stays up is, you know me, I like to use UV solar rest bone dry whenever I can. And I'll put a little bit on the thread wraps in the base of the wing, and I'll cure that up real quick here. Just hold the ring up straight. Whoops, sorry folks, didn't mean to put that in your eyes there. And that should cure that good. Okay, now I'm just going to trim that to about the length I wanted here, just like so. Now we'll move our thread wraps back, work back to just about to the barb here. Now for the tail, I have some ginger color micro fibetts here, and I'm just going to tie in only two for the tail. You can tie in 3, but most of the time I just put 2 in. Fish don't seem to mind at all, so I'll measure that up, and I'll bring that around so it comes on top with a few wraps. And I want that a little bit longer than the hook shank, so for the whole hook I should say. And then I'll wrap that forward, snip off the excess. Okay. And I'm just going to come back, and I'm going to just split those little fibetts apart there, and I'm going to take one wrap on that side, one wrap on this side between them, and that'll keep those splayed apart just like so. Alrighty, now we're ready for our dubbing, and I have a dubbing blend here that I blended up to match the naturals that I see most of the time. It's 50-50. It's a yellowish sulphur and an orange mixed in, so it's a yellowish orange color more or less. So I'm going to take a little wax, put on the thread here, and we'll get a nice sparse noodle going here. Not too thick of one at all, just keep it kind of sparse here. It's a little at a time. Alrighty. So I'm going to wrap this on, see where that takes me here. Now I'm going to wrap this back right to the tail, and I'm also going to take a wrap behind those tails, like so. Then I'm going to come back up, then wrap forward, just like so here. Okay. Now I'm just going to trim some of these long guard hairs out here. Just bear with me. Now you can see I still have a little dubbing on the thread here, but I'm going to tie my hackle in with that dubbing right on the thread. It won't hurt a thing at all. So I have a hackle here. When I tie these thorax style patterns, I like to use one size larger than the hook, so I got about a 12 here for a 14 hook. I got about a 12 hackle. So I'm going to tie him in here on my 45-degree angle right behind the wing here. I'll tie him in. Just get him to cooperate with me here. There we go. Alright, now I'm going to add some more dubbing to the thread, a little bit more wax here first. And we'll dub another sparse noodle on here. You may have to, sometimes it takes 2 to 3 dubbing noodles to finish the fly, but that's no big deal. Okay, then I'm going to wrap forward on that. Jump in front of the wing, wrap over that stem, and we're going to build a little bit of a thorax here. So I need a touch more dubbing to finish up. Just a touch. Just bear with me, folks. Okay. This will finish this guy up for us this time. Alrighty, so I'm going to come back. Okay. And we'll dub that thorax up here. Just like so, there we go. Now I'll come in and snip that hackle stem out of there. I'll stop my thread right behind the hook eye. Okay, next, grab my hackle pliers and we'll begin to wrap this hackle. We'll come down around. Just like so here, and we'll begin to wrap through the thorax. And you want to have a little space in between your wraps with the style of tying this fly. Okay, and we'll jump in front of the wing. We'll get 2 to 3 wraps in front here. Come down around one last time. And I'll come up and tie that off. Make a couple wraps there in front, and then I'm going to make 2 to 3 back onto that hackle tip to lock it in place. Then I'll come in nice and easy with my scissor tips here and snip him out. Okay, there's the hackle part. Now, see, I got a couple more long guard hairs there I want to snip out. Alrighty. So first thing I'll do is come in with my half hitch tool here and throw in a couple half hitches. There's one. There's 2 on that guy. And I'll come behind with my whip finisher and do a 4 to 5 turn whip finish on them. Okay, just like so. Okay, snug that down nice and tight there. Snip off the excess thread. Okay, so we're just about done here. Now the last step for this thorax fly, or sulphur thorax, is to turn it upside down. We're going to clip all the bottom hackle off because we want it just flush on the bottom. So we'll come in and I'll snip that bottom hackle out of there. Just like so here. So you just got a nice flat surface, and that fly will set nice and flush on the water surface. And there we have it. Another size 14 sulphur thorax. It's a neat, pretty simple way to tie them, and they're very effective. Like I was saying, I had a lot of luck on it the other night when I was at my river, and it worked real well for me. So I thought you might like to see this one tied up. It's just a little different way you can tie the sulphur fly. So anyhow, last step, like always, I'll take a little tiny drop of Solar Airs bone dry here, and just a very small amount, and put a little dab on that thread head there, just a little, and I'll cure that up right quick here. Okay, and there she be. Okay, so I got one little stray fiber there I want to cut out. There we go. So like always, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial this time around. And if you have the materials, and I'd tie some of these guys up, add them to your box, like I say, especially if you're into the sulphur hatch now, or you'll be having a sulphur hatch in the area that which you fish. It worked very well for me. So anyhow, I want to thank you so much for watching, and if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that good old subscribe button and the bell icon. I'd appreciate that a great deal, and throw in a like too if you wish. So until next time, everyone, happy tying out there, stay safe, I'll see you all again soon, and so long for now, folks.